So this podcast was filmed during our making of the pilot, which if you haven't checked out yet, I would definitely recommend. This was specifically during the shooting of the riding sequence in the middle, like the shred it part. And at this stage, we actually hadn't even really made the rest of the film. We only had the lured segment to show Amaury. So at this point, all that had been seen and all that had been made was the lured segment. And yeah, we were shooting the shred it, like that facility in Pasquette that we were at is basically where Commencal does all of its development, all of its testing, and where the riders get up to speed. And what a stunning facility it is, and what a dream come true it was for myself and Glenn to film a riding sequence with the world's best. It really was a dream come true. And so we sat down in this podcast with Glenn as well, the director of the film, and yeah, had a great chat. So hope you enjoy it. Have a good one. Support the podcast. Bye. We start all of our podcasts kind of similar. We ask, what is the greatest mountain bike film of all time? So in your opinion, what is your favourite mountain bike film?
The Pilot.
Whoa! That's the answer you want. Okay, apart from the Pilot.
Like, I think I never yes, there is like few movies, but it's been like some years, like in the past they released movies, but then I feel like there is a break. Like last movie, like I remember like when we bought some paper magazines, they had DVDs like with it, and we watched like mountain bike movies. But since that, I feel there is no really lot of movies who went out. So yeah, loved like I don't remember the name, but like the 20 like the 2007 or 8 years, like recapping the World Cups.
Like the
There was-
Earthed?
Yeah, I think.
Or Sprung or that sort of thing.
And one with just 3 liters, the name.
3 minute gaps.
3 minute gaps.
Yeah, 3 minute gap. So this is more than 3 liters, but but yeah, definitely.
Because that kind of like, that was almost like a precursor to, Drive to Survive that
Yeah.
you get now. It's just like following several rounds with different people,
So good.
doing, some interviews and like seeing the results and stuff. I guess at that time there was not much in the way of like that sort of content. So seeing actual World Cup racing and just being able to observe what was happening must have been cool for you, like wanting to do more of that.
Yeah, it was just like loving watching the races like always. I love the competition side. If every sport I did like, even if it was not like sport just at school, when you play football or you just run, and always like wanted to win. And just watching the races by this movie were like, oh, this is so cool, and make the dream started.
Yeah, there wasn't really a sort of cinematic film before like 3 minute gaps.
Yeah,
It's almost like a cliche when you ask people like, what's your favourite mountain biking film? They say 3 minute gaps.
yeah,
Normally, because it's what sticks in their mind, because
Yeah.
it was a new way to present it. Whereas before that, it was your Earthed and your Sprungs were just like really good riding montages. So if
Yeah.
you're a rider, you're super into it. Whereas maybe 3 minute gaps sort of, for normal people, they could enjoy it too, sort of thing. So yeah, 3 minute gaps is total like up there, one of the greatest for sure. You say you were like competitive in school. Which sports?
like everything I went to a little bit, I just wanted to be better, even if it was not, I was not like training for it or racing or whatever. Just every time if I have the chance to get like in a race too, even if it's not, I remember just like at the school, during the break, like we ran through the school area. I don't know how you call that.
Like
The playground.
Yes, playground. And I remember a girl wanted to race against me. I was like, yeah, we're gonna race against a girl, so I was gonna win, it's gonna be easy. So I let her like have the playground, in advance. And okay, I start. I ran, and I saw she's gonna win. And so didn't stop, and it was like a barrier, like a stiff barrier, you know.
Yeah.
And so I just like still running. It was like maybe 2 meters left, and when I start to stop, I just like did shit with my foot, and front head into the barrier. And I still have a scar. I don't remember which one, but so yeah, it was hard to lose.
Yeah,
but,
As your first professional like competitive
It
event.
was really tough to swallow.
What sort of zone do you get in before a race run? Because a lot of people like they get hyped up, and then some people it's the opposite. Like they try and relax and slow everything down.
It's hard. I don't even know. I don't think about that. I try just to be super focused, but I'm not like wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of really calm, I guess. But yeah, super focused on the present moment. But yeah, when I'm feeling really good, I'm just like stoked and thinking, like singing and dancing.
So you're doing a lot of like visualization of the
But
track.
not a lot, little bit.
A little bit, but not too much.
Not too much.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
need to be in the present moment. Like I did a little bit, but not 30 minutes of visualization, you know?
Yeah. And so when you're on track, is it still spontaneous? Are you sort of making decisions in the moment rather than like everything being meticulous? Because some people like they're like visualize and they're really like everything, and that gives them comfort
Yeah.
because they feel like they already have done a few runs
Yeah,
in their head.
Yeah, makes sense. Like I use visualization for sure, but for example, in Val Nord last year, like one of the last few turns were pretty sketchy, and like we didn't know if that berm gonna hold for the race. So we decided like to have Gaetan next to the berm, and I told him, okay, 20 minutes before my start, you call me and you tell me the berm or no. And after that, I'm like too much focus and I don't want to change something. So if the berm is good like 20 minutes before my run, it's 3 minutes between each rider, it's like 6 rider. It should hold the berm. So, we can have a bit of strategy like that. But generally, yeah, visualization, you do stuff.
But you do you're known for like a lot of track walk, like getting everything analyzed and really piecing together your run.
Yeah, when I'm not too tired, I try to go on the track walk again, at least after a quali. But sometimes if you're tired or injured a bit, it's not worth it. You should better be like recovering, just chilling, sleeping, do a massage or whatever. So it really depends on your feeling.
Yeah. The you say like at the start gate you're often really focused and not, stressed. Like has it always been like that with racing, or have you been able to develop that focus?
Dude, like when I start racing, I was really bad. Like first national race, like I came and the man who like managers were like, oh, don't worry, we don't need a track work. Like we're gonna develop your animal instinct. Oh, okay, I follow you. Like first practice run, I followed him and he crashed twice because we didn't know what happened between that rock, So like, okay, maybe that's not the right way to follow. And yeah, that race I didn't know like how to manage a race run, like everything, and I crashed 4 times in my race run.
Oh my god.
So from that, yeah, a lot of understanding to develop, and it was better each race. But yeah, I forgot what we.
Yeah, so like just about getting that relaxed state before the start gate, and I was going to say like I noticed that you guys have a quite a meticulous warm-up routine. Does that like repetition help you get into that? Like,
yeah. So yeah, okay, I got it. I was lost. So so then because I crashed a lot of time because just being stressed, and don't know what to do. So with the like more experiences, you get better. Like then when I was junior, like just thinking during my race run, like a lot of stuff, like so weird stuff, like not be able to concentrate, So it was just a lot of work to do, like to understand why I'm thinking during my race run, or I just should be really concentrating on what I'm doing. So with the years, like it's been better and better. Just like to, putting a routine of warm up help you to get concentrating.
It's a weird balance of like you have to like be in between like thinking too much and not thinking enough.
Yeah.
It's like that weird in between where you're kind of in your race run, you ideally want to not really think at all.
Yeah.
And
Like it's what happened when you doing great race run, like you cross the finish line and it's like you start like thinking and okay, you remember what happened, but when you do really good, like you just forgot what you're doing. You just like
do you ever wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm gonna win?
I'm not really like that.
No.
I would love to.
Yeah,
I watch
yeah.
the McGregor like
Confidence, like
and he's like, oh, this is a good day to be world champion. with this cup of coffee. This is so good. But I wish I could be like that. But yeah, maybe there is something to work on. Huh?
Yeah.
It's like brute force belief in this, like, I'm going to win.
Yeah, but some riders are like that. So I think Thibaut is a bit like, he want to smash everyone. I don't know if it's like confident like that, but he's really like angry for winning.
Yeah. You think
like I guess Finn maybe not as much as before, but this like first year, like junior years and first year's elite. Like I remember Loic were always saying like, Finn only want to beat me, like he was really angry about beating someone, And some people are more like that, but more the young one, I guess. Then you understand it's not working every time to be like that.
So for you, it's not like there's a target on someone else's back. It's more like just you, the track.
Yeah, it just the battle is on me. The track is the track, the other are the other, and just the only element I can change is myself. So
there's never anybody that you've just really wanted to beat.
No, everyone is chilled, kind of chill in the World Cup.
That's it. Yeah, they are.
There is not an asshole I really want to beat.
Yeah.
Everyone is nice.
Because Max, you talked about this with like motocross environment and how it's like the pits are heated.
Yeah.
And that's not like that in downhill. So like maybe you can explain the parallel, Max.
No, well, it's just like, watching Reese and stuff in the motocross world growing up, and the pits are just like people are at each other. There's fights in the pits. Like the dads are at each other. They're crazy. They're it's you versus them, and it's very direct.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for Reese, when he came over to downhill, it was like, it was weird for him because he was like, everyone's so friendly, and there's almost nothing for him to grab onto because he wanted to like, follow someone and like overtake them or something, whereas it's just you. So it's a different mindset entirely, like a different approach. But at the same time, if you can use like other people as motivation, then you do. So maybe other people on the circuit do use other people as like motivation as markers. But it doesn't come out because you're never taking each other out or this sort of thing.
I'd be interested if you could explain a little bit, the relationship with you and Thibaut Deprilla, because obviously from a distance it could seem like you're both there or thereabouts, like going for win, and it's like, how do you keep that non-competitive?
It's competitive, but it's kind of fair. It's fair, but we don't really see the competitive really because we didn't really have been like it's been really good when I was injured, and when I've been good last year, it's been a bit struggling. So we weren't really like kind of fighting for top spot in the same time. So that could be maybe when we get to that point, maybe it's gonna be hard to handle. But for the moment, it's just pretty chill. Like we work together on team camps. We share some stuff on the World Cups as well, at the races. So and then race run is race run. So
Yeah.
Another, sorry.
No, it's just like that team like seems like, because we float around a bunch of different pits at the World Cups, but in particular the Commencal Markov pit seems like a real family vibe, like a proper big but wholesome family vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas other teams are maybe a bit more like professional, you would maybe say, like less of a sort of close relationship.
yeah, definitely that we are looking for. Like for us, it's really important to have just people we love to share moments with them, and yeah, that makes just we spend like so many times, like we have 10 full weeks together, so it's quite a lot of time, and it's the most important time of the year. So we need to be comfortable with people, and if we can laugh and enjoy moments with them, it's even better. So that's what we're looking for, I guess. And yeah, it's just pretty good atmosphere. And
Did it feel like that right away with your coming onto the team in 2018? I guess there must have been some magic there with like you coming on and just like smashing it right away. Like, was it instantly like, this is the guys for me?
for me, like it was just like coming from not pre-writer but a non-professional to professional side. So when you stop school or work and you dedicate your life to training and races, it's a massive difference. So this has been a big difference for me, and the team helped me a lot. Like I started, like I realized like the World Cup racing, what it was, because I never like did testing or whatever, and I was okay, like you test tires? Oh yeah, true. This is interesting. You can feel something, different springs, air shock, cold shock. So just trying different stuff, riding different tracks. Go Italy, Spain, Portugal during the winter. Just not riding your own track. They just gave me the opportunity to have a professional life, and that suited me well. So pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess like that last year, like was pretty difficult. How important is it to have that like support network of a team during like the darker times,
During the darker times, it's pretty hard and it was even more harder because it was darker time for me, and Thibaut were like growing like first year and second year elite, like podium, second overall, everything. And me, I was like plunging in the darkest world ever. So it was pretty hard. You feel totally alone. Like you feel like nobody like wants you anymore. And yeah, for an athlete, it's pretty hard because when you know the kind of the how can I say that kind of the stars or the lights, it's like that's cool, but when you get forgot by the media and or whatever, it's like you feel alone, kind of alone. And yeah, nobody just give a fuck to you, to your place, and that's for sure important to have the team and family and friends mostly behind you to just to enjoy other stuff and get back to work.
Yeah, it's mad how much like pro athletes, like their self-worth is like results basically, or like how well you're doing, how well you're feeling. That's your self-worth. So if you're not getting the results, you feel like
It's hard. Eh?
Oh, I'm not worth anything. You know.
Yeah, it's because you know you are well paid, so you you feel like they're waiting, and they're waiting something from you. So when you cannot deliver what they pay for you, you feel just like you shit, like ugh, ugh, why I'm leaving, you know.
Yeah.
It's really hard, like. So yeah, definitely injuries, they are really hard to handle, and some sponsors are really cool, you know, want to give you the best time ever, even when it's hard. So
You seem really able to reverse momentum though, because there's that whole thing of like when it's going slightly bad and then it keeps going, it's like momentum downwards or momentum upwards. Like it goes slightly better and it normally goes like that, but you seem to be able to, like, even after like a disaster, you can reverse the momentum. Even if it maybe doesn't feel like you can still produce a run and get it done. Like, how do you do that?
I don't know. Just I think I always wanted to give 100% of what I can, and that's why I had some issue as well. Because you know what, when I'm on the start gate, I want to go like fast as I can. But if you not 100% mentally ready, 100% fit ready, you not 100% like technically bike ready, that's where you start having crash or issues on race runs. So yeah, so when you just ready, it works to do good. But when there is just some little detail you didn't pay enough attention, it's where you can, yeah, fucked up. So I don't know. If you do the right thing, I think you just should do good.
Is that what happened? I know this will probably be discovered in the film, but like in 2020, you like go to your national races and you're not physically and mentally prepared, but you're trying to do 100% race run, like as if you were at your best. That's an example of what that situation you've just been talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Just like I've been just kind of giving the best training I could have during the winter. Then races cancelled, so just depressed. This is a war, like just depressed. So needed just to cut from everything. Like don't want to heard about like mountain bike again. Just for a few weeks, few months, you know. But it's enough to lose a lot of stuff, like mentally and about strength. So and just technically, because we were absolutely not able to ride downhill, and we get back to the races, and yeah, wanted to ride as before, as fast as before, and just wanted to do a pretty good race run, but wasn't ready for this, and it's hard. It's hard to accept because you feel like riding bad, so it makes you angry, you know, against you. Like, why I'm riding like shit, you know? I want to ride like as before, like pretty good, like flying on the track, you know. So you try again and blah, blah, and that's done.
On the kind of like putting 100% into the run, blah blah blah. This year is the first year with the semi-finals. How are you going to approach that? How do you think that will be in terms of like, you think it's going to be 100% semi-finals? You think it's going to be 80, 90?
Like, honestly, I don't really know at the moment, and I should maybe think about it because it's starting to get soon. But there is a lot of point to play in semifinals, so definitely it's really important. And I think, yeah, just will give my best and then try to recover maybe for, I don't know, an hour. I don't know. We don't even know the schedule.
I don't even think, like, do we know that the points? Do we know the points for sure? Because there was talk about.
I don't even know if it's for sure. Like we saw it was like 50 points in quali, 200 points in semi, and 250 points in final.
That's a lot.
But I'm not sure. But yeah, if it's like that, that's big, really big. So you need to be like really consistent for those tournaments. You cannot like chill the semi and like win the final. You don't gonna be good in the overall. It's better to do like 3-3 than 6 or 10 and 1.
Do you think it's a good thing to like? Because obviously with downhill, there's only 8 races.
Yeah.
If there's 16 races, like with semi-final and final, like similar points, like is that going to help to determine the best rider overall, or do you prefer just 8?
For me, I would prefer to have like more races and not to hear about like a semi-final, because for me this is changing so much the sport. Because doing like you need to, definitely this is too race fun for the season, so it's more managing an effort and I feel it's more like enduro. But downhill is that race fun. That's what people are looking for downhill. When they waiting for the last man to go down and just smash the race. I think this is what's cool with downhill. But I should change my opinion now because sport is changing. But yeah, so we need to change a bit the approach, but definitely more races could be really insane. Just for me, my dream is just like to have a real World Cup, go in Asia, and yeah, like go back in Africa, South Africa, Australia, just to have some different races, different continent. Could be so sick.
Yeah.
But in other hands, when I tell that to my manager, they're like, but yeah, you don't gonna have the perfect setup, we don't gonna have a truck, so it's just hard and super expensive for the teams to do that. So we just like in a camper van with less people. So in another hand, it's like for the sport, don't know if it's like the pits are not as good looking as in Europe, when we move. So
it would be cool to get to Japan.
It could be so sick.
I want to go to Japan.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, mountains looks insane there.
Yeah, they do.
They can, and yeah, South America as well looks really good, like in Argentina or Chile. Looks really cool.
Speaking of like approach, you talk about, obviously you have to change your approach for the World Cups, but you said to me that this is one of the first years you're sort of thinking about World Champs more than you have before. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So yeah, definitely like after missing it closely last year, and yeah, I feel like it was maybe the time to change the mindset. So and even more now, because just been struggling all winter with injuries, like minor injuries, but just not able like to train properly. So I'm late. I think I'm late for the start of the season. So definitely more just focus on World Champs, who is something I never really prepared for, because I was just looking for World Cups. But yeah.
Was the race in Ligier, that was like, you thought, oh, it would have been good to get that.
Yeah, it was just like, just really hard to swallow.
Yeah.
It was just a beautiful race and beautiful event, beautiful podium with Loic and Loris. Just everything was super cool, but just like being second was really hard at this race. And so, yeah, from that, just like wanted to just think about it more, just not going to world champs like that.
Do
Just
you
more get prepared for it.
do you want to talk a little bit about your relationship with Loic Bruni?
The hate and love relationship. No, honestly, like I've been like a big fan of him like since a kid. Like he was a Frenchman, like friendly Frenchman, always smiling, saying hi to everybody, and on the World Cup podium every single race, and he was just like a big inspiration. Even if he's only like 2 years old more than me, but yeah, always seen him like a model. And yeah, he's always been. I remember the first time when I met him, I was like, hey. I was so shy. And he's just been super cool, and he's been just cool advice on the races when I was just, first year racing World Cup, not too good. It was always really cool. So, and even when I started to get good, like he still gave me some advice. So, pretty a lovely man. But then when we started to be like really like kind of on top together, like 2019 years, it was like, when you see someone, it's like, yeah, hey. But yeah, the relationship changed a bit but that's normal. That's the man who you are second in the world, and this is the only man who is in front of you. So it's like, yeah. And I was the only man who were second and winning as well races this year. Like he won 3 races, I won 3 races. So it was like, the real battle. So that year it changed a bit, but after that, like everything became normal again.
So do you guys have like a friendship outside of racing?
It's hard. He's busy. I'm busy. We always, have our proper stuff to do. We always try. Okay, I'm coming to Spain at this moment. Are you free? Oh no, I'm in New Zealand. So we try to see each other, but it's not so easy. So he have his program. I have my program, and when we can, we try to see each other.
Because in the film, I know it's obviously like with downhill, it's not this head-to-head battle, but like one of the things we're sort of, well, I mean, the film's not made yet at this point, which is kind of hilarious. But like one of the things that I'm trying to do with the edit is like almost show the battle, like even with the Lord segment, like showing Loic's riding and racing.
Yeah, but
like to add the tension, and it's like it's not like that in person, but it's for the film.
That's a bit like that, during the racing time, like of a weekend. This is tense, like it's normal. You work your ass off during all winter, and you want to win, and these fuckers beat you, and like. It's put the fire in you. So, and you see this on the lower segment when he crossed the finish line. You see in his eyes like he's like burning inside.
Yeah, for
And
context, for people at home, the only part of the film that's been made is the Lord's segment.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all we have.
that's all we have.
We need to
Yeah,
make
like
the rest.
in that Lord segment, like the commentaries, it's like Rob Warner's like, oh, he's surely going to be happy with third, and like there's a picture of like, and he's like,
He's not happy, definitely not. Yeah,
But as soon as the race runs over, it's like that. Like you're not going to walk over to the pits before the race and give them any information at all. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, that highline's good. Like no.
before we shared so much line and everything.
Really?
Yeah? But from that year, less. From 2019. But before that, yeah, we share like we even like share a ride together.
Yeah.
Try line, together. But yeah,
You don't do that anymore.
not really. Now we more like just more focus on ourselves. But after load, for example, like after the podium ceremonies, we just went to the pit. Like we always, it's often we go to each pit, we change, just just change some talks, and we have a beer and just chilling together. So it's pretty cool.
How is
Yeah.
it?
Sorry, no, I was just going to remind you that, like, even on Snowshoe at the final, when, like, yous are waiting for Danny Hart to come down and yous are both just holding each other. It's like,
Oh my
like not knowing what to do. It's like both, like, feeling like it for each other as well, like in the same moment. So I don't know. It was, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that was the worst feeling. Like after an injury, that was the worst feeling ever. Like just a third man who can define your
Yeah, that it was such
Your
a
year.
weird situation. Like,
like, oh my god, I did what I needed. It did like just what he needed, because Danny just defined the rest. But wow, yeah, all on Danny, you know.
it was insane.
And
did
Loic,
Danny's-
did you know Loic? I don't even know if it's true, but I heard like he paid a dinner to Danny. Yeah, thanks Danny. He paid him a dinner. Like, seriously? And then after that, like we went to Whistler with the boys to ride, and Danny was there, and he was riding along. So we say, hey Danny, come ride with us. So we are super. I was gentle. I wanna like, okay, you fucked my year, but come ride with us, you know. And he blocked past me on a turn. Like we were riding train ride on a line. And I was eyeliner on the big one. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
It was like a metaphor for the result of just block passing you.
Yeah, ciao. Oh my god.
Oh.
But that was really funny.
Yeah, that was a really good run from Danny on.
Yeah.
Like, it was the exit from the rock garden.
Yeah.
So it's like the rock garden and then right and then onto the flat.
Yeah.
So just that, I think that's where it happened. I can't remember clearly, but I remember just watching him through that bit and he just got it so good. It was just like fair play. But for that to upset the final result is just such a strange situation, you know?
Yeah. So we were just, Loic and me, just waiting for, for the result and just waiting for Danny. So it was so tense, like, good. Like I was like excited because it was just perfect, in red between me and Loic. And then mid run, like end of the run, like it changed. And it's been great. I was like,
Did you drink
when
a few beers after that?
Not straight, but after some beers and strong alcohol.
Try and
to
forget.
forget.
Oh, crazy. It was a good show anyway. Like,
It was insane.
you
It was
should be
insane.
happy that like you make this show, you know.
Yeah.
It's entertainment at the end of the day. That is the thing. So it's like,
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
incredible.
this season to watch was insane. It was
Yeah.
just battling with Loic. It was always in front, but I was just coming at the end of the season. And for that last race, 40 points to play. So in down it's not that much because first and second it's 40 points. So just waiting for the last man, Danny. Crazy. That was crazy.
sick.
What I find interesting about this podcast right now is that we're like in this weird, like when we're thinking this is gonna come out, will be after like this sick film is done, and like I think it would be cool to just talk about like this film a little bit and like I guess the process.
Well, I mean, how did it start?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was like in Lord, and it was like we were doing our stuff with Pink Bike and just Pink Bike at that time, like shooting some social media and World Cup content. But on race day, I was like sitting at the Holly Whoops in Lord, and so like right by the last corner, which is like in the film, they're like coming down the whoop, and then round off the last drop. I was sitting there, and like Anna was sitting right next to me. I'd never met Anna before.
Okay.
So like never met her, and then just like I noticed that she was from the UK, so I just started speaking to her, and then we like because we were sitting there for like 2 hours, we just spoke loads,
Okay.
and then like by the time explained like what sleeper is, what we do, she's like, oh, sick. And then you came through and it was like sick shot because I was like filming all the way around and I was like, okay, that's dope. I was like, I'll send you the clip, and then it obviously ended up winning, which was like sick. And I don't know, I think you DM'd us like, oh, could you send a clip or something?
Yeah,
and it's like a sick
did.
shot. So we just did that, but then it was like, we just gave the footage. And then I think it was Thibaut Ruffin, or Anna must have spoke to Thibaut, and then they were like looking for social media. So like just so happened that we could do some footage. So at the first race, we didn't even film you guys on purpose. Like we were just filming event coverage. And that's what I thought was cool about the edit of that, because it was like, we didn't have any stuff. We didn't know you hurt your ankle on the step down.
Yeah.
So it was only when I started editing, like, in February, where I see that you've actually, like, we've got the shot of the going off the drop. Like, I think you got that on the camera, like, the Z280.
It's interesting how we're there, like, we're on site, like, we're filming, but we don't know the specifics. So we actually don't know the story.
Yeah.
And it's the same with everybody at home. It's like you never know, like these little details of you like doing your ankle in lures or whatever. Like nobody knew, like, and we didn't know either. So yeah, it was cool that we had that footage.
Yeah, and then I guess like after that, it was like, okay, now we're filming you. So then Fort William, like it was like, okay, we're now trying to get some clips, like to focus on actually getting shots of you guys, and then I guess it just built and built and built from there. But then like, this film idea sort of just happened quite organically. Like we wanted to do some bigger projects. Like part of our goal is to like, get a film on a big platform. And that's like a good, like, I think I said it to you guys. I was like, that's like us winning a World Cup, It's like, we can't win a World Cup, but we can like get a film on Netflix and that's like sick.
Fuck, that's a goal.
Yeah. So that's like, if you've got that to aim for, then okay, fucking like, let's go. Like what can we do to get there? And when I think I spoke to you just right at the start when we were like, we're going to do this, it was like, we don't have any money yet to do this. We're just going to make it because we can wait forever for like, for sponsors.
You need to give from yourself to go further. Like you need to start.
Yeah,
you cannot wait that people help you to get to the top. You need to move your ass.
It's also like you're first. Constantly convincing people that it's a good idea.
Yeah.
To say, well, it's better to just show them.
Yeah.
Because they will see it was a good idea. But I mean, I think midway through the season, with your like the way that your season was going, we were like, this is a great idea. This is a season that we would like to tell. We're always trying to like look for where is the story, And then I mean, your season was definitely
it was crazy. Yeah, it's just so cool. So I mean, it's like sick that we've been able to organize it. And then so we shot at the team camp in Portugal, like the main interviews with you guys, which was like, how long was the interview with you?
Too much. Like I spent 4 hours with you, so it was long. Huh?
Like
my
after the
head was
interview,
like,
it's hard to talk for that long,
Yeah, and even more
English.
when it's not your own language,
Yeah.
Like so much focus,
Yeah, it's so annoying how like you have to be speaking in English for it to be viewed widely.
Yeah.
It's quite annoying. Like you can subtitle, but people hate subtitles.
But even just like to speak with you, like I mean, if you want to talk with other people, like from kind of worldwide, you need to talk in English. So not only for the movie, but just in general, you need to speak English. That's it. Otherwise, you just stay alone.
Yeah, I was saying like if we end up doing this is so weird. Like if we end up doing like a premiere, like it's gonna be funny. Like if we do it in France and I come up, I'm like, all right, like, Scottish guy making a film about a Frenchman and it's like screened in France. It's like, why is he here? Like doing this, a little bit of that feeling, but it's cool. Like I think we're like our goal is to try and like bring downhill to like everybody. So like being able to make films like this and have that wide audience and like the most amount of people can watch it. And I think what's cool as well, like from if you don't know anything about yourself, like it just seems like, okay, it's this fun guy, like just kills it, gets sick results, like the results are so good, but then actually like it's such a huge up and down. Like it's not, you've not just come out of nowhere and just like killing it and that's it. It's like and I think that's the same with most downhill athletes. Would you agree? Like everyone's got their own the story.
You cannot like come to the top in just like that, there is such a big work and big story behind, I think, every World Cup racer. So yeah, definitely so much stories to tell on the World Cup circuit, like in every sport or whatever. It's always so cool. I don't know if you've seen the tennis players, the women, the two sisters.
Well, Serena
Serena
and
and-
Yeah,
Venus.
The-
Venus, is
Is
it?
it Venus?
Williams.
Yeah, Williams.
Serena Williams.
Have you seen the movie on there?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it. Definitely. It's insane. Like, I mean, the father like got a plan for his like two not sons,
Daughters.
daughters. Thank you.
Two boys.
For his two daughters, and yeah, he definitely make a plan to make the daughters like the best of the world. But it's mental, like wow, and everything like happened as he expected. So it's insane. And they signed at 14 years old like $1 million contract with brands and everything. So
That's
It is,
Wow.
it's mad how like you're able to absorb so much information when you're young.
Yeah,
Like when you're young, you're just kind of like a sponge.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so anything you get told, you absorb as fact.
Yeah,
Whereas when you get older, you're kind of like, maybe. Like
Yeah.
you question it a
yeah,
bit.
definitely.
So your upbringing so vital for like you see it with like Brian Deegan
yeah,
and stuff like that. It's this like pedigree, So what was your like childhood like?
it was just chill. I think my parents were like super nice with just like bringing like nice, and because like every Sunday we went for a hike, and when you're kid you don't want to hike, like oh no we hike again, but they give us like the sense of love for nature. So it's been pretty cool, and yeah, for animals, for all living stuff, they didn't let us like play video games for too long. Like it was just a limit, and just my mother just always cooked good food and everything. Like it was just really good environment. So and always like sport, like
Were they
football.
competitive? Like, did they do any racing at all?
My father like raced a little bit of motocross younger,
Mm.
so that's
Sick.
yeah, he had some good photo, like funny photo, like on the moto. And my mother rode moto as well, and she stopped just a few years ago. But chill. But this is maybe some gen or something.
Yeah, because like your two brothers are also
Yeah,
really into. Well, they're World Cup athletes as
Yeah.
well. So it's like there's clearly something in the water for you from
yeah,
this.
maybe there is something. Just the good recipe, I don't know.
And
But
like,
yeah, the fact of just riding, of I talk about everyone, but just having parents loving nature on sports, and my two brothers as well. They always ride bike. I did more different stuff like football, a bit of ski, and then bikes to follow them. But yeah, just an healthy environment, just about sports and nature, I guess. And yeah, we all then came to racing, so that was cool.
This podcast is sponsored by HIT. HIT is a smart device that attaches to an athlete's helmet to measure G-force, impacts, and rotational force, which can give you an early indication of potential concussion instead of relying on often unreliable gut feeling. Having real data helps you make informed decisions that are best for your long-term health and, as a result, your performance. Crashing is not the most fun of topics, but pushing that limit is why we love this sport. HIT is a part of the evolution of action sports. We have to move away from arbitrary tests that don't work and put athletes at risk into a world where accurate data is embraced and used to protect our priceless brains. One way you can support the podcast and Sleeper directly is by placing an order with HIT through our affiliate link in the description. Thanks very much, and let's continue with the podcast.
just sort of on this little home environment, it's like, can you explain Pierron Bike Park? Because I've heard this so many times. Is it actually a bike park, or is it just like because I just like, hear this, I'm like, it sounds sick, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's It's a bit tricky, but no, like first of all, like it's come from my older brother Baptiste. Like he really wanted to have a space where he could have his proper like training track, because like a few years ago, like San Remo, you know, maybe you heard about it. It was the place to go for training, and everybody came to train at this place. So you're like, yeah, we should just do the same, do a good downhill tracks, and people will come train on it and fuck the track, and it's gonna be a good training track for us. So that was the idea of the project, and so he started to you know to see like the owner of the lands and everything, and just it's been a big work of it. So, but that's tricky. Just they say, okay, you can go, and he finally came with a with a machine to build. They are okay with that, but you know they don't really want a business on it. So it's just like, okay, some people come, but it's no like big
Public bike park. Not
yeah, like for all the young guys from around, like come ride, but we don't like advertise on it like much, you know. It's just like it's cool to have some people, you know, some racers coming sometimes from, like Daniel came like 2 weeks ago, I guess. Remy, like some people come, but it's not like, okay, come ride. We don't like do a special day or whatever. Just it's chill. It's stay chill.
Yeah, we often wonder why the French are so dominant. Do you think that that's because of like, just obviously there's lots of mountains, but like good facilities like that and people coming together, the community, you know?
Yeah, maybe because we spoke here this week, like seems like super hard, like in Scotland, for example, like to build tracks and just be able to ride tracks. So, and for us, it's really more chill, and there is a lot of places in France where you can go to ride bikes. So definitely there's maybe something here.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like we have to resort to e-biking, you know, in the UK most of the time, which is, I mean, it works, but you're not getting those downhill laps.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like e-biking is different than downhill biking. Yeah.
Do you do much e-biking?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like especially in enduro, you know, it's really steep, and when you just have to ride a recovery ride or whatever, e-bike, you know, it's life. I never know. I'm starting like to playing, like trying to do a bit of extreme e-bike, you know, like I feel like on the road, like just searching for lines, you know,
Yeah.
so for looking for grip and everything. So it's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing with the extra weight, like the stability
Yeah,
that you get from
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
And with the low tire pressure, you just there's a grip insane on the rocks and everything. You can climb crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Sketchy sometimes, but
Yeah. For downhill races, I feel like the first thing that, as soon as you sign to a team, it's downhill bike, e-bike, you know. But that's what I feel like it's just such a good training tool, because you know you could do 10 laps in a day.
Yeah, no,
like,
for sure. If you're alone and you just want to do some laps, so easy, so cool.
And it's like a different type of fitness for enduro and downhill. Would you agree?
Yeah. Enduro is like 2 days of racing. Like you need to, you spend the day on the saddle, so it's not the same. For us, it's more like just super intense. Like, you know, we do 6 or 7 runs on the first day. Like we do 12 runs, around 12 runs during a weekend. All are super intense, and it's just super intense mentally, because always like watching lines and thinking about the setup, some clicks here, changing shock and just changing tire, and just so much stuff to think. So enduro is like, for sure, different fitness, but downhill is not less intense, for sure.
It's explosive.
It's so explosive, and it's after a weekend of World Cup racing, you're just so done because your mind have been so much working. It's not even like you do your run, you absolutely done. Like because you've been just working for 3 days to get the fastest time you can on a track. Is not just physically but mentally super demanding because we spend just day to think and on adjustment, on the bike, on the track. So yes, just super hard.
Have you done much enduro?
I did, yeah, like I think 2017, like I did an enduro World Series.
What do you think of that?
Was hard, really hard. Like I don't know, just to remember it was really hard and a little bit frustrating because for me, like I hate to ride in the unknown. And when I don't know the track perfectly, I'm like I feel like I could ride faster, and that make me like angry.
Yeah.
So, but hats off to the underdog guys because they ride, I think, like super fast. It's crazy, like as fast as I could ride this track, maybe with 6 training run.
Yeah, it's so
Or
quick.
more. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
And there is some crazy uphill during the stages and
Yeah.
got the legs.
What made you choose downhill as a sport instead of other cycling disciplines?
Just a better one on every single point. No, like it was when I came to see my brother Baptiste on his first races. It was just the atmosphere was so cool, like it's pretty chill. All the parents are just hanging each other, like having dinner together, lunch together, and next to in the pits, and everything. And as we told, like for MX, it's not the same. And for cross country, for example, it's crazy bad as well. If you watch a cross country race from the young age, the parents are just yelling on their kids, like, "Oh, pedal, quicker, like change your gear, like." Let your kid like doing his things, like he's having fun and you're just yelling on him. It's like, oh my god, it's hard. And the atmosphere is not the same, definitely.
So it was the atmosphere that was like, oh, I like this. I want to be in this environment.
Not only that, because it's just cool to ride downhill, like when you're a kid, you don't really like to uphill.
Well, I was going to say, because like for like, I guess me and Max, like we're pretty focused on downhill.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I've filmed other disciplines, but downhill is just the most exciting. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone will agree with this, but it's kind of like the F1 of mountain biking.
Yeah, definitely. Like about like it technically like the work on the bikes, like it's not F1 for sure, but the engineer works so hard. It's crazy, on every single point because we have no motor, but we can improve so much on every single detail: wheels, tires, suspension, just on every single part. There is so many parameters on just a component, so it's really technical. So definitely it's the F1 of the mountain bike, I think.
Are you quite particular about your setup, or are you more like it's good, I'll just ride it as is, and not fiddle too much? Or are you?
I used to be like that, but with the years I'm becoming more and more like focus a bit on the setup. And yeah, thinking it's important, but if you spend just too much time thinking about it, you don't spend enough time on the lines and on the other stuff. So it's a balance you need to play with.
Do you ever think that when your race weekend's not going well, like, it's my bike?
No, but sometimes yes. Sometimes yes.
Yeah.
Like if in Mont Saint Anne, like I spent my whole practice day trying to set up my bike because I was just struggling to ride my bike. I was like, why is this happening? Like I feel bad. I'm not comfortable because it just like push me in the front or whatever. And it's sad because if you want like to hit a section like really fast, but you cannot because your bike is not reacting well. It's frustrating. So and you spend the whole day like really bad. And I was just trying to figure it out, and you at the end of the day, you wasn't productive enough to build confidence, and your weekend it's a bit fucked up. So it's kind of really important.
How
But I know some riders don't give a fuck, and it's better if you don't give a fuck. You just ride your bike. Oh, it's reacting like that. Okay, and
Yeah, like Josh Bryceland.
yeah, I think
Yeah, he just not gives a fuck. But he also rode like a medium,
medium
like a
size,
bike. Yeah, size.
and he's like 2 meters.
Yeah, if you look at all of the footage, it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like
Wow.
just liked it somehow.
Yeah, but nowadays looks like every parameters needs to be on
How-
point.
how important is, like, obviously the technical parameters are important, but how important is the mindset? Because we just talked about, you blaming your bike, but like, like how important is being in a happy place for a race?
It means everything. If you not confident going to a restaurant, it's better stay in the pit. There is no room for error, and you need to be really confident and happy with what you got, on your line and your setup, on everything on the weekend. You cannot be like not happy with something. Otherwise, you need to take care of that. And if you take care of something, you cannot go for a win. So definitely, yeah, happy place is a good place. But for everything, like I think every different work, whatever, even new, like if you like, I don't know, struggling to get the right shot, it's the same. Like, "Rah!" And at the end of the day, you feel you missed something, and you're a bit angry for the rest of the weekend. But yeah, I guess just everything in every every sport or every work.
Yeah, like do bikes make you happy?
Yeah, I love biking. Like I go biking nearly every day. Enduro bike, e-bikes, downhill bike, gym. Best work, huh?
Do you get bored when there's like no racing?
I don't get bored because honestly, at the end of the season, I'm really happy the season is over generally because it's just so intense. And so I just do other stuff like, just off season cut and then training again. And I'm happy to train again. And then I'm starting to be better at training and I'm happy to get racing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like always cool.
Yeah, it's a good fluctuation.
But yeah, like for example, in moto, like S6, MX, like wow, I don't know. But that's why they finish their career around 30, and you can have a way longer career in downhill.
Yeah.
We have less races, more time for living. So
Totally. What do you do for fun that isn't bikes?
moto is the best. Like kind of we find the same feeling, but it's just easier to do. You can just share more times on the moto easily with friends. It's pretty cool. Similar to downhill. And just, yeah, easier to put in place during the off season. It's pretty cool.
It's nice when you've not had an engine all year and all of a sudden you have an engine. It feels good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else apart from, because that's still bikes. So like,
Yeah. Otherwise, hiking is pretty cool. Like during off season, like yeah, love to hike. Go in the mountain, throw some rocks on safety area. But yes, throw rocks is
That's such a manly thing.
It's like, I love to throw rocks. Love throwing rocks.
Like I remember one time I was at the beach and there was like 5 girlfriends stood like 10 meters back from the water, 5 boyfriends at the water, all throwing rocks into the water, like skimming stone. And I was just like, I want to do that as well.
It's cool. And in the mountains too, like, I think it's mental the speed that a rocks can take. Like, and jumping, well, you know, this is like dirt explosions, and then it smash on another, like you can cut some trees, and when it smash on another rock, it's just like, it's so good.
It's so good.
That's it. That's the secret to success. It's like that's your secret training.
Playing with rocks.
Do you party in the off season?
Not much. I don't really like that because I love enjoy my day, and if I party, like the day is fucked. You know, it's like you hungover all day. So when I party, is when it's worth it. You know, like on the World Cup, or like first year, like when I came to the team on like start, I won my first World Cup. So this year, like I went to party like every single weekend, like every single races. That was so much fun. But then at the end of the season, you know, you recover like kind of bad of partying. Depend of how you party, of course. But I was not in the management at this time, so it was at the end of the season I was done, like really tired.
So you don't do much drinking in the off season?
Not much, honestly. Like no, I didn't. I drank maybe twice during this off season. It's not stuff I you know, like people often like wait the weekend to go to party and everything, but the weekend as well is when motor tracks are open. So I prefer to go to motor than party.
That's great. You know, so everybody needs to find a hobby like that.
Yeah.
That's better than drinking.
Yeah.
Because drinking's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Drinking is like is so much fun.
Which is a problem because you know you need you need something that's better than drinking.
Yeah, but yeah, this is not a problem for me. Like, I love to party when friends party, but my friend same like prefer like moment inside and enjoy the day. So I prefer do that as well.
I was gonna. I know we've got some topics, but I just want to talk a little bit about just like how sick the last couple of days of filming have been, and like because for us we're always too rushed with like filming a mountain bike segment. It seems like we never have the time to go with sunrise and sunset, and this last few days has been like that. Like finally, like we get the golden light and like some sick shots. So
yeah, we're always just like filming what happens. So like naturally documentary, you know, just what happens, you know, and you don't get time to be like, oh, can we do that again?
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, and then when you're filming a shred it, or it's always just a part of a documentary. So it's just like, you know, oh, we'll do that in the afternoon or whatever. And it's just super short. But for us, we really want to take the time and make something that's like properly nice, you know, and that's where you see the work like Leon, you know, does the films for Commencal.
Yeah.
Like his stuff we watch and we're like,
but
so nice.
Dude, and you're really chill next to Leon and JB. You know JB Lyotta, the photographer?
Yeah.
Like, when we do a video of like a photo shoot with them, like, oh, you need to try again. Like, and when they got the perfect shot, like, oh, I was shit, so we do again. Like, sometimes we like maybe 10 times or 12 times on the same spot just to get the perfect shot. Like they are, you know, they're looking for perfection. So that's why the work is mint.
Yeah. How has it been filming with us the last few days?
It's been cool, chill, like super hard. Like honestly, like I was like, oh, so tired. Like waking up at 6 for me is like way too early. So it's been like in the morning I was like, but it's been cool. We've been shuttling, so I felt more riding than shooting, so it's been pretty easy for me. And you were nice and chill, so
because this is the longest we've actually spent any time together.
Yeah.
Because like at the World Cup, so we'd never spent any time, and then like okay, one interview in Portugal, and now this is like finally like 5 days of like doing some stuff. So it's like good to get to know you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Because Max before this, Max had said like the only time he'd ever met you was at Lenside, and you filmed the stupid like muck off like
True.
gangster.
It was just like 5 minutes.
That was the only time.
So it's like this is like Max's first like. So you were quite excited to come for the shoot.
Yeah, totally.
What were you expecting with like? Because obviously I've kind of been like taking care of this project, and you've been so busy with like other projects, and like how is it? What were you expecting with this? Like, did you have any?
No, I was more interested to see like how you were as a person, because like some people at the top are super serious of any sort of sport, and
do you think I'm not?
Well, you're serious in the right ways, you know, like serious about your craft and serious about performance and things like this. But out with that, you can have a conversation with anyone. You're super chill, you know. So it's funny because, I guess you have a perception of someone, and then there's the reality. So I love to just not judge at all from a distance.
It's so easy, like to judge someone. Like from what you see like on social or whatever, but then like even for me, like you think something about someone, and when you meet this person, and like it's so totally different feeling, you know. So it's funny. Yeah.
But I think people are surprised and most people are good in downhill. Like most people are amazing, and I think people are surprised by that. Like they're like, oh, he was actually quite nice. Like, they expect him to be a dick. They expect them to be like full of themselves, and I'm, it's me, you know.
Like in a lot of, I guess, like about like the a good competitor, like the one who are like quite good in the sport, like it's easy to think they are kind of asshole, but finally they are always super chill. Like when you meet someone like for some moto guys, even like the top ones are like really chill. Like I met some enduro guys, and they are really just really cool. And I think you need if you just like too much about yourself, and you cannot be good at something. But maybe it's for few people that works, but you need to be grateful for what you are and people who work with you, because if you're alone, you're never alone. So this cannot be only you.
I've got one thing, just obviously with like you've got a pretty sick custom kit for this shoot. Can you talk a little bit about the leopard? Is that like your spirit animal?
First I love like the leopard, is hidden in the bushes, waiting for the right moment. And you just ran against a gazelle.
Loic is a gazelle.
Love the love the cat. So this is the next level of cat. The leopard, and I don't know, white leopard was a bit cooler than normal leopard, just that.
No, it's sick. Like, is there any other like custom kits or like bikes that you've thought in the past you're like, it's sick? Like, have you had any?
Honestly, this is the first one I really like ask for. Like, okay, I would love to have something like that, and we work on the project, so I'm pretty happy about it. And then we always have good sick kit or sick bikes, so can't complain.
No, it's just cool to like have that for the shoot, especially because it's like kind of a cool segment that we're going to try and put together. Like me and Maxwell has got a bit of a vision with like the the riding segments. We want to have like an iconic riding segment in every film. Something that like people can be like, oh, did you see this segment in the movie? So like I think that's part of what we were trying to do with this, is like make something really rad, and then so like it can be rewatched and even if you don't have time to watch the full thing, you can just like get hyped on like a moment or something. So, nah, it's sick.
I was going to ask about the ruffins, or is that how you say it, or is it
Ruffin.
In French, we say ruffin. Ruffin.
ruffin?
Ruffin.
Ruffin. Yeah, like their sort of like riding addiction setup, because I think they kind of sit in the background. You know, people don't know about them so much.
Yeah.
So,
But you know, like, people never know about like people in the back scene, you know?
mm-hmm.
You see the singer, but you don't see like 1,000 people working for that singer make it happen in front of you. It's a bit the same for us. Like, it's 15 members crew, and we are 4 riders. Yeah, 4. So yeah, more people working for us riding. So Riffins are just like, the creators of the team. They started like by their own with a coping car, you know, going to races with their dad and mom. So just pretty cool. They years by years improve, getting bigger. So they're pretty cool, working really hard, and ends with Commencal. So pretty cool to have them around. They're chill. They don't put pressure on us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty. You know, this is the family. Like I don't know what to say. So this is the center of everything. It starts from their family.
Mm-hmm.
The whole team.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's sick. They've been around for a while, it seems.
Yeah.
But, also, Max Commencal. Can you describe who Max Commencal is?
This is Commencal owner, and he just makes this brand like in 2000. So it's 23rd year now, and this is the man who loves winning the most, I guess. Even like there is a babyfoot here, and like remember last year we were playing, and when he wins at babyfoot, it's like he's winning a World Cup, you know. Yeah, he's so hyped. It's really cool, you know. And he's coming at every races, watching us, and you know, we are kind of his babies. So he take care of us. He wants the best for us, and he fucking loves winning. So that's very cool.
Yeah, he seems super competitive. I mean, to build that business up from the ground up, you know, and then the support. Like we almost say it's a joke because there's so many Commencals at the World Cups. Yeah, like there was just so many teams. You know, it's like you know,
if you look at the result,
like last year, you know, it was just like Commencal Schwalbe, Commencal. What was the other tire company?
Commencal
V. Yeah, it was V tires. Commencal V.
Dorval,
100%. Muck-off. You know, and that's just the ones we can remember.
Oh, there's North America as well.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you look at the result, like there is half of the racers are on Commencal on the result. Like literally crazy.
And it's a good privateer bike as well because it's quite cheap.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like, I don't know if I can say one of the cheaper, but definitely like
reasonable.
Cheap. Yeah, it's really reasonable.
Yeah.
Like compared to some other brands. Like they're pretty honest on the price. Yeah,
and it's stuck with aluminium as well, which is really interesting. Like during the carbon hype, just like stay with aluminium.
But I think that's because of like a huge ecological impact for carbon.
Right.
Like they're like super into taking care of the environment, like where you get to ride your bike. So like they know that carbon fiber is not so good for the environment. So they decided to make that decision, and then like that's the challenge, like to make the best bike out of aluminium. And so like obviously they've managed to do it with the downhill, but then speaking to Maxime, like the R&D guys, and they're talking about like we want to make the best like race winning enduro bike now. So that's now they're like kind of the next project, isn't it? It's like they've done it with the downhill, and now it's like, right, let's get this meta sick and like get it winning like every race, which is like so cool. And now it's like them proving again that like you don't need the carbon, you can just do it with the aluminium.
It's amazing to see a brand prioritize downhill. I mean, it's cool for us because we love downhill.
Yeah.
But like their Commencal are one of the only ones that really prioritize it. Like other brands have a massive road segment.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge market and probably a bigger market and a better sales. So they focus a lot on road, or then they focus on XC, and these are really a big part of it. And then the downhill's just kind of like, oh yeah, make a downhill bike, you know, but that's just extra. It's like a side thing. Whereas Commencal is clear, like, because he's there, like, you know, every single, you see him on his scooter, you know, floating
Coming
around.
to the pit.
Yeah.
Look like Lewis Hamilton, but it's Max Commencal.
And then whenever there's a result or any sort of moment, he's always there. We were saying like all of our footage is just, there he is. You know?
Yeah, he's rating.
Yeah, you might not notice him, but he's there, you know.
He's hiding. You can always see him if you look at him.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, but yeah, so cool. Like he's so much dedicated in this sport, like in mountain bike overall. And yeah, don't want to go too much ride, you know, like with crazy stuff. So pretty focused on what you do good, and you want to keep it doing good.
For sure.
Well, we're speaking about bikes. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what was some of your first mountain bikes that you had? Because like, there's always some like sick OG mountain bikes that people have had.
Like, so like first mountain bike I had, like when I was really little, was some Sun bikes, and before that Max works with he was a co-owner of Sun, so that's funny, you know.
Yeah,
That's
like Max
really
Commencal
mad.
was also doing
Yeah,
sun
Sun,
bikes.
yeah. That's
So-
crazy. You've been on Max's
yeah.
wavelength.
Like,
Online,
he's
like-
he's making sure like the development program, like, okay, get Amaury on the sun bike first.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just like a 24-inch wheel, and then it was just like a dirt jump bike to do downhill. You know, when I was maybe like 11 or 12, it was like bam, you know. But that's cool to learn. You learn like being clean and walk with your legs and everything. And the first full travel bike was a Commencal.
So you've just been from then just Commencal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no. It's like I was really young then. A Sun again. My first like downhill bike was a Sun, and then was specialized for, but I wasn't. I would specialize for 2 or 3 years, and then Scott with Lac Blanc, and then Commencal.
You said something interesting there about people riding hardtails. Do you think, because a lot of people skip that stage, you know,
Yeah.
they go straight to whatever. What do you think is like some of the main things that people are missing when they're learning mountain biking? Like, what is the mistakes that people make when they're early in the journey? So they create really bad habits.
I think the worst thing you can do is to want to skip the process, you know. Like, I received some DMs on Instagram, how you can get to be professional, or you can get to be in a professional team. And it's just like, first of all, like, ride your bike to having fun and go to the races if you like that and it makes you happy to race bikes. And then if you're happy to race bikes but you want to be better, like, start training. And then if you're training but you didn't have the result and you were mad about that, just like find some solution and just you know, follow the process to be better. Just not, okay, I want to be in a team. Like, I've been riding bikes 10 years before going in a professional team, you know. It doesn't happen like that. So just do what you love. If you love what you're doing, it will happen, I think.
Do you think that people because I don't think that people pay much attention to their technique. I think they just ride, and if they're going fast, then they think it's good.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Like, did you like think about your technique quite a lot?
not much because we just were riding by ourselves with my brother and some friends, and the thing we did like it's pretty funny. Like we build our tracks, and nowadays I don't think like kids want to build a track. They parents do shuttle, and we are just pushing our bike all day long to do some riding some bits of track. We build the track, we push the bike to ride tracks, and now like kids are just waiting that things happen. So parents made shuttle. They have already a beautiful bike, like full travel, and Artel bike is good, I think, for learning. A little bit the sense and everything. But which was funny, like so we were like riding little bits of track, and we were giving notes about the speed and the style. And you're like, okay, on speed you were 8 and 10, and like on style, or only 4. We weren't good on style. But it was funny. We were already like competitive and compare each other. So it was pretty funny. And when we built some tracks, we were like, okay, this is like the Moon Center segment, and this is like we name it like some part of tracks who seems like World Cup track. We're just like fan of it and just so happy to rewrite that bit of World Cup track. We're just talked on everything.
It's like that. If you've not got that enough enthusiasm to push your bike up the hill, then maybe it's not. Maybe you don't love it enough.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you wait and your parents, if you wait like Sunday for ride your bike because your parents cannot only do shuttle on that day, you don't love it enough. Like Wednesday after school, we went riding, pushing bike. Then Saturday and Sunday, like all day long. Yeah, just good moments, with friends and brothers. So, and we just love that. So we just spend our days in the forest, digging, riding, pushing.
You said that with your brothers, like it was competitive. Like, where do you think your competitiveness comes from?
Honestly, I don't know because it was not really competitive. We give nut and everything, but I think maybe I always wanted to. I don't know why, but to do better than my brothers. At least I'm at my oldest brother because so he is aged 3 years old more than me, and it was just not acceptable to be less good than him. So I just try to keep him in everything, So maybe that's why that makes me competitive. Whoa, I'm learning things on myself talking to you.
That's sick, yeah. Because I was like, you've got this hyper competitiveness, but like, yeah, what drives you for that?
Like just maybe this, huh? Because I remember it was not acceptable to be less good than my brother. If he do something, I should do the same. Why not? And I remember like watching when Gwyn was winning every race and everything. I was like, a friend of mine, if he watch this, he can remember that. I was like, okay, he have 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs. Like this is a human. If he does that, why we cannot do that? If someone do something, we can do something. Same, at least the same. If you put the right things and you work for something, you can do whatever you want.
Sick.
Inspirational.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Billionaires Club.
Just baby, like bring champagne, costume.
Yeah. Like what you just said there is like, it's really cool. But it's sick that you like didn't even think, maybe that's why I'm competitive.
Definitely.
Like so you're a middle child.
Yeah.
And then like older brother always being slightly older and better.
Yeah, when you're older, you a bit better, and you just did more stuff before me. and just trying to do as much as him. So that maybe that certainly builds me.
And how is Baptiste doing now?
He's taking care of his baby by park much and just continue racing with Dorval.
Is it cool to have him like at the downhill races? Like, having obviously both brothers at the downhill races, is that nice? Or are you just kind of all in your own lane?
Yeah, honestly, we don't really see much each other. We do all stuff like we see sometime each other talking about life and everything, but we don't really have time to wake up, go to the pit, do stuff, prepare, warm up, training. Then after training, cool down, watching GoPros, like watching line, talking text with the engineer, mechanics. Like days are so busy, so. But after race or before race, we have sometimes, and my parents come as well, so it's cool. Good, the environment keep staying on the World Cups.
And does he like still loving racing? Is he like still super into it and like progressing as well?
Yeah, he's pretty loving it. Like he went pro like a few years ago, so kind of we enjoy this opportunity to be pro and just be able to get paid for ride bikes. So yeah, we love that. So don't worry for that.
Did you ever have like a regular job?
Yeah.
What? Right, tell me about that.
So it was like in a sports shop, overall sports shop, and I went there. Okay, could you maybe take me for 2 full months? Then mid-time work for 2 or 3 other months. Then I can have some time for training. And it was super nice. And he told me, okay. So I was on the bicycle side. So I repairs bikes, sell tires, and just everything. But because it was an overall shop, not only bicycle shop.
Mm-hmm.
It was only shit bikes and everything. And people came to repair bikes, but it was, they found like their grandma's bike, like full of dust and grease everywhere, like, like black grease.
Yeah.
Like the bike didn't work like since 40 years, but they bring the bike because there is a commercial operation. Oh, we give you 50 euros like free if you bring your bikes. Like every people bring shit bikes just because it's free, just so bad. But it was really good fun and good atmosphere with the other employees. So it's been really great and cool to experience, some real life job. Because we are in real life riding bike, but it's you're so different than the majority of people, because they see your work as a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
when we gonna training on the enduro bike, like oh yeah, like they only can ride bikes on the weekend, but they don't see like the intervals, the going on the bike when it's raining or 0 degrees or whatever. But it's hard, but it's different. We can ride bikes every single day and they cannot. So it's really different that, we are lucky to live this.
Mm-hmm.
But to experience a job like you need to be every day at 8 a.m. at the work, you need to smile, it's just hard.
But it's important to have that.
It's pretty cool to have experience. That's pretty cool. And I love that. It was cool, but not as cool as riding bikes.
Wait, was there ever a point where like turning it from a hobby to a job, or did you always sort of want to be professional? Or was it ever like turning it from a hobby to a job is like there was like a change in your attitude?
Definitely was I was looking for, because I really wanted like that was to be my job, to train and everything, because I was working, then training, like after job, like after 7 p.m. So just 1 hour training, and it was just hard. You're tired. You cannot train properly. You cannot recover from your day and your training. So you start your day tired, and then it's just really hard, like to gain something living like that. So when I became pro, it just everything easier. I can take my time in the morning, do my training, then do my training in the afternoon, and I just the other time is just to recover or enjoy something else. It's pretty cool.
That we're getting a signal for food.
Is it food time?
My stomach's been rumbling.
Has it been 2 hours?
Well, you want to?
Wow, it's been 2 hours.
That went by
Just
really
like that.
quick.
It's always fun.
Feel like
it's always fun with
20
you,
minutes.
Amaury. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to let everybody know, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime,
so we need to close this podcast.
This podcast is over. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.